What's up, guys? Welcome to the show today. We're going to be going over some veteran running backs and how to acquire them this off season. Now, I know, first off, veteran running backs in the off season, it can be a risky move, but also it may be the cheapest point to acquire these guys, which is why I'm going to go over a handful of ones that I believe will have roles in 2024 and could potentially win you your league with their price you are paying to acquire them right now. Before I get going, please like, subscribe, everything with the channel, share it around. Any help would be much appreciated. So first guy today I'm going to talk about, and this is someone I have actually brought up a couple times, but that's going to be Saquon Barkley, who is RB12 on KTC, which to me just absolutely blows my mind. I have this guy all the way up at RB6 in my personal rankings. Now, I just cannot believe that Barkley is going for this cheap currently. I think he is probably one of the most talented running backs in the NFL. And I just have a hard time believing that if either he is back in New York or most likely on another team, I think his role is going to be incredibly elite. And I would not be surprised to see a team with one of these high-end rookie quarterbacks, a la Houston, Washington, Chicago, someone who is getting a quarterback on a rookie deal, sign a running back like Saquon Barkley and heavily feature him in the offense. So according to KTC right now, you could go get Saquon Barkley for 110 straight up, which just absolutely blows my mind. I think that is a crazy deal. A late first, 110, you lost in the semifinals of your league, and now you are returning next year with Saquon Barkley. Like, okay, come on, man, just win your league now. I think that is a great deal. So next up, the next guy for today is going to be someone who shined pretty bright in the playoffs and down the stretch, and that's going to be Aaron Jones. Running back for the Packers. Dude finished with 5 straight 100-yard games, looked like an absolute monster for the Packers in an offense that is ascending. Now, Jones is slightly more expensive with his contract going up this next year. I wouldn't be surprised to see them restructure him. But for RB30, I just think that's a pretty good value for Aaron Jones. And what are we looking at for Aaron Jones here? 2.9. So a mid to late second round pick for Aaron Jones straight up. I would definitely even be willing to throw a kicker or a player on top of this. I think this is a player that if you are trying to win, I think he definitely has a year or two left for your team of producing high-end numbers. Now, he does have an issue staying healthy. Maybe that's luck. Maybe it isn't. But when he's on the field, he is an absolute difference maker for your team. And those are really the guys that we are trying to go get to propel us to, getting the bye, getting to the semis, making it to the final, and winning the final of your dynasty league. Sometimes you need those elite, more risky assets if you really want to push your team over the top. So next is going to be the cheapest guy on the list for today, and that's going to be Raheem Mostert, all the way down at KTC RB38. Now, let's not forget that Mostert is coming off basically the best season of his career, obviously, and just an absolute elite season in general, scoring over 20 touchdowns for the Dolphins. Now, I do understand Devon Achane is super hyped. I think he's a very good talent. I love his skill set in that Mike McDaniel's offense. But I just really see Mostert sticking around and still having some sort of role. Now, they probably do flip-flop this year. I don't really think Mostert's going to be the full-on starter next year like he was this year. HM missed some time banged up. He was a rookie getting used to the system. But I think Mostert's going to be around, and I think he's definitely going to be a flex-worthy, maybe RB2 startable player if that offense continues to be as elite and profound as they are. So what's something we could do to go get Raheem Mostert this offseason? How about a mid-third to mid-fourth? You're looking for running backs. This class specifically isn't being hyped as a super strong RB rookie running back class. Now, that could turn out to be slightly inaccurate. Sometimes we don't fully know until draft capital and landing spot really pushes some of these guys up and down the board. But for a mid-third, mid-fourth I think Mostert's a pretty safe starter that you're basically buying 1 year of Raheem Mostert. And if that's something that you are looking for, I definitely could see this being a trade that is just valuable for definitely a contender, or someone who's really just looking to take the next step on their dynasty team and finally compete. Maybe you've been rebuilding and you just need a little pump over the edge to get there. So the next guy we're going to talk about is going to be someone who's a little closer to that Saquon Barkley tier. That's going to be Josh Jacobs, all the way up at RB 15 on KTC. Now, Jacobs had a solid year for the Raiders, nowhere near the year he had previously, where he was basically the rushing leader in the NFL, had a great season. This year was kind of weird for the Raiders. They went through a couple starting quarterbacks, coaching turmoil. Now, Jacobs could be back in Las Vegas. He could sign with a new team. Similar to Saquon Barkley, I think Jacobs' landing spot really shouldn't be an issue if he does go to a new team. And if he does come back, I have a feeling Antonio Pierce is really going to want to pound the rock, play defensive football. So I think RB15 is a pretty fair price for Josh Jacobs. That's about where I have him in my rankings. I'm not saying this is a crazy deal, but I think it's a good value buy this offseason that if you're looking for a running back for the next 2-3 years, I think Josh Jacobs is affordable, and I would definitely pay the asking price right now. So on KTC, according to this, 2-1 could go get you Josh Jacobs. Now, I honestly don't think someone would trade him for less than a first, so I'd definitely be willing to move like a 112, a 111 to go get Josh Jacobs. He's a starter, and he's really only 25, 26 years old, and, former first-round pick, about to come up on his second contract after that rookie deal. So I think when it comes down to it, Jacobs is going to be someone who is not going to disappear from the NFL. And a lot of this has to do with this rookie class coming in. I did speak about that with Mostert, but if we're going to not hype up this rookie class, it's going to mean that some of these veteran free agent running backs are going to still have roles basically on their teams if we are going to pretend that these rookies are going to get drafted in the second round of dynasty rookie drafts and not going to step in and be these elite assets at running back like we've seen the last couple of years, then some of these veteran guys are going to hold on to jobs for another year. And basically what that's going to mean is they're going to produce, again, as top 24 backs. And top 24 backs in Dynasty are irreplaceable if you are trying to compete and win a championship. So the last guy on this list is someone I did already speak about before, so I'm going to go over him very quickly. It's going to be Derrick Henry, RB33 on KTC. Like I said with Henry before, he's still a great running back, even if he loses a step. 80% Derrick Henry is still a top running back in this league. And he's been playing on a Titans offense that hasn't been super efficient this last year. So he's probably going to go somewhere that has a better offense. So let's say his touches get cut by 20%. I definitely imagine his efficiency will grow by 20%. So I think you can expect fairly similar numbers to kind of what he put up this year, just due to the fact that he's probably going to be on a better offense, even if he's getting less touches. So just quickly for Derrick Henry, 210 for Derrick Henry. That's an absolute steal, man. If someone's trying to move off their older assets this offseason at running back, I think 210 is a great deal for Derrick Henry. And I would happily pay that to go get just an elite asset for this year. So thank you guys for tuning in for some running back veteran buys this offseason. I really think the deals now you can get on these guys could potentially lead you to winning your league this next year. Like I think you could completely rebuild your RB core for a 2 and a 3 instead of risking it in the rookie draft if your team is at that state. Now, I'm not saying this is something all rebuilders should do, but if your team's at that state where, let's say you drafted some wide receivers, you got Tank Dell, Rashee Rice, Chase, you got a good quarterback, you got Stroud last year, maybe you got Laporta and you were rebuilding last year, and you need some running backs and you're just not liking what you're seeing in the rookie draft this year, go get some veterans, go get Saquon Barkley for your first round pick, go get Josh Jacobs and start winning now. Rebuilding is awesome, but the point of Dynasty is to win. And sometimes you got to be a little risky to do so. So thank you guys for tuning in. Please subscribe to the channel. I need all the subscribers I can get. Please check out all the other videos as well. They're going to be popping up here and here. So thank you and have a good day.